prasadam, correct? 9 o'clock prasadam, take prasadam, and then you go for Harinam Sankirtan, distributing Srila Prabhupada books, holy books. And then you come around at 4 o'clock, 4:30 Mangala, 4:30 Aarti, Dhupa Aarti, 6 o'clock Tulsi Aarti, and then 6:30 Gaura Aarti. Gaura Aarti, after Gaura Aarti, 7 o'clock Srimad Bhagavad Gita class. And most of the temple have this follow this one, right? 8:30 Sayan Aarti, Sandhya Aarti, Sayan Aarti, and 9 o'clock go to rest. 9 o'clock, and you take little cookies and milk, and you retire, read Srila Prabhupada book, and go back home, back to Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada has given us everything. Now, when I say everything means, he has given us where you don't have to look outside of ISKCON to find your soulmate, to find your partner, life partner. That's what exactly happened to Rupal, my daughter. I don't have to go anywhere else, not even in my community. Just follow Srila Prabhupada devotees, you will find a nice life partner. Bolo Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That's the mercy of a pure devotee. That's the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So anyway, so the Krishna considered that if I come back, I think so I need to skip that, because if I tell you that, it will take long. But then I have a wonderful story, pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. You would like to hear that? When he was a young. Yes, Krishna. Are you ready for that? Okay, here. This is from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata by Vrindavan Das Thakur. We have Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. It's talk about Krishna, Krishna's incarnation, and Krishna's devotees. Right? Chaitanya Bhagavata, what it does? It talk about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees, his associates, and his Leela, his pastimes. So that's a small, wonderful pastimes when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very young. Now it says, Vrindavan Das Thakur says, now please hear another wonderful pastimes performed by the son of Jagannath Mishra. Jagannath Mishra was the father of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. Jagannath Mishra was father of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One most pious mendicant Brahmin. So this is now, I'm taking you to Navadvip. Are you all, after a while I'm going to ask you a question, where are you? So you need to tell me that you are in Navadvip. Your mind has to go there. Your body has to stay here, your mind has to go to Navadvip. One most pious mendicant Brahmin was wandering to various holy places in search of Krishna. So this story starts. Are you all ready for? With a rapt attention. Ready for the story? Okay. He worshipped the Lord with the 6-syllable Gopal mantra, and he would eat only he had first offered to the Lord. In the course of visiting the various holy places, the fortunate Brahmana, see the word fortunate Brahmana, that's very significant, arrives by the providence at the house of the Lord, house of Jagannath Mishra. That matchless effulgent Brahman had a deity Bal Gopal and Shaligram Shila hanging from his neck. He constantly chanted the name of Krishna while he kept his eyes half closed and internally relished ecstatic love for Govinda. When Jagannath Mishra, the father of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saw the effulgent Brahman, he respectfully stood up and then offered his obeisances. Are you following that? What is happening here? Yes, no? Okay. I will ask you, I will trick you, questions. I will ask you later on. Ati, this is Bengali, so I will read one Bengali. Ati vyavahara dharma yena matahaya सब करी लेना जगन्नाथ महाशया. अतिथि. अतिथि means जिसकी कोई तिथि नहीं है. One doesn't, he comes without any tithi, without any, he just knock on your door and said, I'm here. मेहमान होता है तो उसको आप पहले बुलाते हैं, फोन करते हैं, ऐसा. बट ये अतिथि मीन्स जिसकी कोई तिथि नहीं. कभी आप टपके, कोई जैसे हम आप टपके, प्रभु जी, राइट. Jagannath Mishra received the Brahman with etiquette due to a guest. Jagannath. So he was very exalted personality, Jagannath Mishra also, that he knows how to receive the Brahmins. He personally washed the Brahman's feet and then offered him a proper seat. See, this is what the Vaishnava, the Vedic etiquette. When Brahmana comes, somebody comes, then you need to offer him a seat, ask for the water, and if you are little highly elevated, then you wash Brahmana's feet. Generally we do that for our Gurudev. I'm sure everyone must be doing that. Anyway, after the Brahmana was comfortably seated, Jagannath Mishra asked him, where is your residence? The Brahmana replied, I am wandering mendicant, I go wherever my restless mind takes me. So that's another quality of Brahmana. They don't stay in one place. They just keep on going for preaching purpose. With folded hands, Jagannath Mishra said, your traveling is for the benefit of the world. See, this is another instruction, very nice instruction. The meaning of the second line of this verse found in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The meaning of this one is, Jagat tera bhagye se tomara paryatana. Jagat tera bhagye se tomara paryatan. Paryatan means going around. For Jagat, for the benefit of the whole world, you go for their bhagya, for their benefit, you go and preach. That's what he was saying here. This is what has happened to Srila Prabhupada. Right? At the age of, very old age, he came to this Western world. For whom? For all of us. Today I am especially fortunate. Please order me. I will go arrange for your cooking. Who Jagannath Mishra is talking to? This Brahmana. The Brahmana replied, please do whatever you feel suitable. Jagannath Mishra then happily arranged all sorts of palatable ingredients. Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi nicely cleansed the kitchen and kept all the ingredients ready for cooking. So in those days, Brahmana whenever he goes, like Srila Prabhupada, when he came to Boston, he cooked himself. He didn't anybody let cook his food. So that's what the Brahmana will cook at Jagannath Mishra's house. Satisfied with the arrangement, the Brahmana cooked and then sat down to make an offering to Krishna. Now, are you listening what is happening here? I'm going to ask you now a question. Tell me what is happening. Where are we right now? Where are we? Navadvip. And whose house we are in? Jagannath Mishra. And what place we are in right now? In the kitchen. Yeah. And in kitchen, what is happening in the kitchen? The Brahman is cooking, offering. No, he's cooking the food, right? And cook then and down to making an offering to Krishna. Right? So far so good? We are on the same page? Great. Very good. This is the best crowd, Prabhu. It's a small crowd, but the best, very rapt attention, very attentive. Like it. Sri Satchidananda, the super soul of all being. Satchidananda means Sachi Mata's son, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As I said, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Radha and Krishna का दोनों का भाव लेके, राधा रानी का भाव लेके और कलर लेके चैतन्य महाप्रभु आए. वो कृष्ण ही है. बहुत ही, there are so many places you can find in Bhagavatam. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishna Sango Pangar Saparsadam Yajya Hi Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishna. That means he came as Krishna but without not the same color as Krishna. Krishna's color was what? Ghanshyam, Shyam Sundar, right? Bolo Shyam Sundar, Shyam Sundar Prabhu ki jai. Radha Shyam Sundar ki jai. That's what I meant. And bolo Radha Shyam Sundar ki. So that's Krishna's color. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishna Sango Panga. He came with his associates, the Panch associates. Panchatattva. Do we have any Panchatattva here? Yeah, there is a Panchatattva here. 5 truth. Whenever after you finish, is the version of Panchatattva. Let me see. Mataji, can you pick up that picture, please? Sango Pangarsha Parsadam Yagya hi Sankirtana prior. He is yeah, very good. Yeah, show it to everyone. That's the Panchatattva. Bolo Panchatattva ki jai. Now you know who are all this? Anybody would like to know? Yes? Okay, who is this? Advaita Acharya. He came as Mahavishnu. He is a Mahavishnu. And then this is Nityananda, came as a Balram. So, and this one in the middle is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. And this is Gadadhar Pandit, the potency of Radharani. Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani. And this is Srivas as a Narad Muni, as a devotee, as a Bhakta. Panchatattvamakam Krishna, Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam, Bhaktavataram Bhaktyakam, Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So he came, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a devotee Krishna, his first expansion Balram, and then his incarnation Mahavishnu, and his pleasure potency Gadadhar Pandit, and Narad Muni as a devotee. So that's the Panchatattva. So, let's continue. Sango Pangarsha Parsadam Yagya hi Sankirtana prior. His Yagya is Sankirtan. That's what we are doing right now. Yajanti Sumedasa. Only the intelligent people will worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sankirtan movement. So give a big Haribol to all of you. Big Haribol. Because you are the most intelligent, most civilized, most sublime people. That's what I'm not saying. Yagyahi Sankirtana prior, Yajantihi Sumedasa. Sumedasa means most intelligent. So, as soon as the great Brahmana began to meditate, Sri Gaura Sundara came before him. Gaura Sundara, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came before him. The Lord was naked and all his limbs were covered with the dust. His eyes were reddish and his hands and feet were most beautiful. The Lord smiled and took a handful of Brahmana's rice. He then ate the rice as the Brahmana watched. Brahmana offered him the rice, offered his Bal Gopal. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and he was like a small boy, like that. And he came, and he, generally when we are offering the food, nobody should be touching the food, correct? But here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came, and so what Brahmana said? The fortunate Brahman cried out, "Alas, alas, this naughty boy has stolen the rice. It's not complete. The food offering is not complete." Jagannath Mishra came there, and so Gaura Sundara was smiling as he ate the Brahmana's rice, the one which is in the bhoga plate, right? Still bhoga is offering. In anger, Jagannath Mishra rushed to beat the Lord. The Brahmana, however, got up and apprehensively caught hold of Jagannath Mishra's hand. Mishra, you are supposed to be a cultured Aryan. What is use of beating this ignorant boy? So he was trying to stop Jagannath Mishra. Okay, why Jagannath Mishra was angry? Yeah, Gaura Sundara, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to eat before even the bhoga is not complete, right? We have to keep that for some time. Jagannath Mishra then sat down in distress, holding his head with his hand. He could not speak or lift his head. Because he said, this is an offense, this is aparad. Aparad ho gaya, mere ladke se. My son, he committed an offense. The Brahmana said, my dear Mishra, please don't feel sad. Whatever is meant to happen on a particular day is known only to the Lord. Please bring whatever fruits and roots are there in your house, and I will eat those today. So, they already cooked so many nice dishes, so all the ingredients were gone, right? Because it was all. So अभी market में तो उधर market बाजू में नहीं था, वो Ralph market or whatever supermarket, it was not there close by. So he said, whatever fruits and whatever you have, roots, Jagannath Mishra said, if you at all consider my servant, your servant, then please cook again. I will make all arrangements. So that's the humility of stuff. Don't worry, I will bring all in the. What it means that it becomes joy, it becomes dominated. Here tell you the story. Here whole society is now. We will, 1 second. Please cook again, then I will feel satisfied. Now all in for cooking the house. Please cook again, then I will feel satisfied. So that to whom? Yes. So you are right now in the kitchen. Okay, good. All the things and Jagannath present also the Brahman. Please merciful and cook. It becomes if you don't feed Brahmins and you don't feed Brahman is not here and Mataji is a little living here. Bhakta, devotee, man, preach and puja. Mess with them. All people, please do with them. So Brahman. So in Brahman, the stuff is bad, there will be something bad thing will happen. Friends and Jagannath Mishra there also requested, please be merciful on us and cook again. The said, I will slowly cook again. So he is saying time. He is cooking time. Everyone there was happy to hear Brahmanism. Immediately cleaned the kitchen. They immediately cleansed the kitchen. The people assembled all the ingredients and the Brahmana began to cook. Everyone concluded this child was very restless and may spoil the offering again. Therefore, please take him to another house until the Brahmana finish cooking and eating. All the Sachidevi, mother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then puts on alms to the neighbors. All the neighbors aid because ladies, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was young, they gave the name because he was under the tree. You go to the next door is a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace. I mean, from the temple from Mayapur. Go and please visit that. The neem tree is still there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is Leela. All ladies there said, listen, Nimai, you should not have eaten the Brahmana's rice like that. Now, listen very carefully. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai said, smiled with his moon-like face and replied, what is my fault? The Brahmana called me. Listen very carefully, okay? Here. The Lord smiled again and said, I am coward boy and I am always with Brahmana's rice. Okay, you got that point? So that means it says, the Lord replied, here, I belong to a community, so I always eat foodstuffs given by the Brahmanas. From this statement it is established both that Lord is the knower of past, present and future. He is Antaryami, He is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna Himself. And that the Lord is controlled by the Brahmanas. We have very nice what is that? Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha, Jagadvitaya, Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. Right? What is that? Right? Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha, Jagadvitaya, Krishnaya, Namo Namaha. Very good. So, for therefore, his mischievous coward boy nature is also established. In this way, the Lord revealed his identity while speaking deceptively, but the influence of his Maya, no one could understand him. No one could understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he himself is Krishna. And because Brahmana called, he offered. That's why he came and he offered that prasad. He honored that prasad. Everyone laughed upon hearing the Lord's explanation. What this Nimai, little boy is talking about. No one wanted to set him down from their embrace. As the Lord smiled and sat on various people's laps, whoever held him merged in an ocean of bliss. Oh, would you like to have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Lord Krishna as a Bal Gopal, sat on your lap? And then you give a big hug to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Bal Gopal? Who would like to have that? Everybody should have that. Come on, raise your hand. Prabhus, you don't want Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be, to come and give you a big hug? Yeah, that's what we are all here for, right? Meanwhile, the Brahmana finished cooking again and sat down to make the offering. In meditation, the Brahmana called Bal Gopal to eat, and Lord Gaurasundara, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Super Soul, immediately came to know this. Putting everyone into illusion, the Lord secretly came before the Brahmana with a smile on his face. Unseen by others, the Lord then took a handful of rice and ate as the Brahmana was watching. Brahmana was watching and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he took that rice. The Brahmana immediately cried, "Alas, alas!" And the Lord, after eating the rice, fled away. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ran away. Enraged, Jagannath Mishra got up, took a stick in his hand and chased after the Lord in anger. Because, Brahmana said that, again, second time this happened. And then Lord Jagannath Mishra was very, very unhappy with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a small boy, by the way. The Lord fearfully fled into another room with Jagannath Mishra chasing behind and chastising in anger. Jagannath Mishra said, "Just wait and see what I shall do to you today. Although I am an Aryan, you consider me a fool?" Everyone present tried to restrain Mishra, but he said, "Leave me alone. Today I shall beat him." Then they pleaded, "Please, O Mishra, your nature is very magnanimous. What kind of intelligence would you exhibit by beating him?" So everybody was trying to calm him down. He doesn't understand what the right and what is wrong. Whosoever beats such a child is a great fool. Anyway, so they're saying, all the people who are gathered, they said, "Don't beat him, he's a small child." At that time, the mendicant Brahmin hastily came there, holding the hands of Jagannath Mishra, and he spoke, "Listen, Mishra, this is not a fault of a child. Today I don't have any, there's no rice for me because God doesn't want me to have it." Like that, he was talking to him. Now, feeling distressed, Jagannath Mishra was unable to raise his head. He looked at the ground and simply lamented in disgrace. At that time, the most powerful and effulgent Vishwarupa came there. By the way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had an elder brother, Vishwarupa. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, father was Jagannath Mishra. We just read that. Jagannath Mishra's father was Upendra Mishra. Upendra Mishra was a resident of Srilahat. It is a province in Assam. It is still there, the province in Assam. And then Upendra Mishra had 7 children, 7 sons. And one of the sons was this Jagannath Mishra. But from Srilahat, from Assam, Jagannath Mishra came to Navadvip to study in the house of Pandit Nilambar Chakravarti. And he got the degree called Purandara. Purandara, in those days, Navadvip was very, very educational place. Like we go to here, Harvard University and that university. Like at that time, Navadvip was considered as a very big university for Vedic study. So So this is one of the sons who Jagannath Mishra. And Jagannath Mishra then got married to this Nilambar Chakravarti's daughter, the eldest daughter, Sachi Devi. And from Sachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra, they had 8 girls, but they all died before even they were born. And then 9th child was Vishwarup, and the 10th child was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? So that's little background here. So his elder brother came. He was at that time the most powerful and effulgent Vaishnava. Vishwarupa came there. There is no comparison to the matchless sweetness of Vishwarupa bodily limbs. So there is a description of Vishwarupa. And Vishwarupa finally he convinced this Brahman, please prepare the food again. Seeing this extraordinary beauty, the mendicant Brahman was struck with wonders and stared at him continuously. The Brahmana then said, whose son is this? And they give the introduction in all this. Although you are self-satisfied, still you travel about in order to sanctify the world. So Vishwarupa now is telling this Brahmana, and then he's saying that it is that you are here. Whosoever receives a guest like you has attained great fortune on this auspicious day. Although you are self-satisfied, still you travel about in order to sanctify the world. That's what Srila Prabhupada did, by the way. I am greatly satisfied seeing you, but I am very sad to hear about what had happened. Now Vishwarupa is telling to this Brahmana, by seeing you I am jubilant, but because you are fasting I am unhappy, therefore I am both happy and sad. Who is saying that? Vishwarupa telling whom? This Brahmana, that he is both happy and sad. Why is happy? To see the Brahmana, and the sad is because he is not eating. The Brahmana said, please do not feel sad, I eat some fruits and roots. I live in the forest so where I can get rice. I am accustomed to eat fruits and roots in the forest. I seldom eat rice, only when it is easily available. So Brahmana is telling to Vishwarupa, I become so satisfied by seeing you that I feel as if I have eaten millions of meals. Please go and bring any fruits, roots and prasad that you have, and I will eat that today. Jagannath Mishra, however, did not speak anything. He just held his head in his hand in distress. Vishwarupa said, I hesitate to speak, but I know that you are an ocean of mercy. It is the nature of saintly person to be distressed on seeing the suffering of others. They always try to make others happy. So his preaching, Vishwarupa was also very learned scholar. He's preaching to him, to Brahmana, that Jagannath Mishra is distressed, and by seeing that distressed person, because since you are ocean of mercy, please make another food, another time. Then by family distress will be vanquished, and we will attain transcendental happiness if you cook again. The Brahman says, I have already cooked twice, yet Krishna has still not allowed me to eat. I have therefore understood that he has not allotted any rice for me today. So I am going to read a little faster because the time is, we are running out of time. 9:28. Prabhu said 5-10 minutes here and there. Is it okay with you? With your permission? With your humble request? Is it possible to read? Yes or no? Yes. So say loudly, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. One more time, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Okay. So with your permission I am reading. Okay? Thank you. I have therefore understood that he has not allotted any rice for me today. If Krishna's sanction is not there, why should we endeavor? It is practically the middle of the night. It is proper to cook at this time. So he's saying, Vishwarupa is saying that, and we are going to make all the arrangement. Therefore, do not make any further arrangement for cooking today. I will simply eat some fruits. Sorry. It is not practical to the middle of the night. It is not proper to cook at this time. Vishwarupa said, there will be no fault if you cook. Everyone will be satisfied. Saying this, Vishwarupa caught hold of the Brahmana's feet, and everyone else also requested him to cook again. Enchanted by Vishwarupa, the Brahmana said, all right, I shall cook. Everyone expressed their satisfaction by chanting the name of Hari. Everybody say, Hari Bol! Hari Bol! See here, When you chant this holy name, it gets deposited in your spiritual bank balance. Whenever you chant any holy name, it gets deposited in your spiritual bank balance, adhyatmic bank balance, and it never gets depleted. Here in material bank balance, it always negative, right? Here it goes positive, increasing, keep on increasing, and then you get interest on that. That interest you don't have to show it to IRS. You don't have to report in your income. See, that's the beauty about this. So say Haribol one more time. Haribol. Okay, good. Then they quickly cleaned the kitchen and brought all the ingredients for cooking. The Brahmana then began to cook, and everyone escorted Nimai. Everyone escorted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to another room. Jagannath Mishra sat in the front of the door when the child was detained. Everyone said, lock the room from outside so that he cannot get out. Jagannath Mishra said, that is a good idea. Thus Jagannath Mishra and others sat outside after latching the door from outside. From inside the room, the lady said, don't worry, Nimai is sleeping. He won't do anything now. As they guarded the child in this way, the Brahmana soon finished cooking. The pious Brahmana prepared a plate for offering and then sat in meditation and offered the food to Krishna. The Super Soul. Who is Super Soul? He is the Antaryami. When you offer something with love and devotion, patra pushpam phalam toyam yoni bhaktya prayachati. When you offer with love and devotion, Krishna will accept that. He says in Bhagavad Gita. The Super Soul, Sri Satchidananda, knew everything. He had already decided to give darshan to the Brahmin. Thus, by the will of the Supreme Lord, Nidra Devi, the goddess of sleep, deluded everyone into the deep sleep. So everyone is sleeping except two people. Who are there? Brahmana and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Correct. Very good. So give a Haribol to this Prabhu. Thus, by the will of the Supreme Lord, Nidra Devi, the goddess of sleep, deluded everyone into deep sleep. Sri Satchidanandana then went to the place where the Brahmana was making his offering. On seeing the child, the Brahmana cried, alas, alas! But no one heard him, for they were all false asleep. So Brahmana and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord says, O Brahmana, you are indeed magnanimous. You call me. So what is my fault? कि आपने बुलाया और हम चले आए, तो हमारा क्या fault? You chant my mantra and invite me, so I cannot resist coming to you, O Brahmana. And there is a big purport, but we will skip that. You always desire to see me, so I am here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Brahmana that you always desire to see me, that's what I am here. At this time, the Lord exhibited a wonderful 8-armed. Listen very carefully. Are you with me right now? In the kitchen. This is happening in the kitchen, right? Where is offering is done. They are doing the offering. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he is revealing himself? He is showing this, his form. At that time, the Lord exhibited a wonderful 8-armed form to the Brahmana. In 4 hands, he held conch shell, dace, club and lotus flower. Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Bhagwan Chaturbhuj, 4-handed form, right? In 4 hands he held a conch shell, dace, club and lotus flower. In 1 hand he held a pot of butter from which he ate with another hand. So 4 और 2 6 हाथ हो गया. So 4 hands are occupied by what? Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Those 2 hands, one is butter and second is butter is here and second hand is eating butter. Who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is eating butter. Are you getting the glimpse right now? Where are you right now? In the kitchen. I know, good. But what are you looking at right now? Yeah, Mahaprabhu's. How many arms? Huh? 8 arms. Soon we will be going to the kitchen. Don't worry. Okay. And the pot of butter from he ate with one another hand. Then 2 hands still He played the flute. Okay, look at that. हमारे ठाकुर जी क्या करते हैं? Played the flute. So 8 hands. Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Parma, butter. Second hand is eating, and then flute. He was decorated with the mark of Srivasa, while the Kastuba gem and the jeweled necklace hung on his chest. This is the mark of Lord Shri Krishna. All his limbs were decorated with jeweled ornaments. His head was decorated with garland of fresh gunja seeds and peacock feather. His moon-like face was beautiful by his red lips. The Lord smiled and he rolled his eyes. His Vaijanti flower garland and shark-shaped earrings swayed to and fro. To and fro. Ting, ting, like, right? To and fro. His lotus feet were adorned by jeweled ankle bells, and all darkness was dissipated by shining of his toenails. The Brahmana was also saw the abode of Vrindavan, filled with the wonderful Kadamba trees and chirping of various birds. He saw carved boys and girls in all directions. Indeed, whatever he had meditated on, he saw manifest before him. This is from Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. Sorry. So that's a beautiful, description of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everybody like that? Bolo Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Seeing the extraordinary opulence, the pious Brahmana fell unconscious with ecstasy. The Brahmana repeatedly fell unconscious to the ground and then got up in great jubilation. His body shivered and perished, and his hair stood on end. The flow of tears from his eyes resembled the Ganges river. This is what happens when you have a darshan of the Lord. Now, don't worry, I have Ashirvad, boon also. Whosoever heard this description, I will tell you that also, the last. The Lord said to him, please listen, O Brahmana, you have been my servant for many lifetimes. You always desired to see me, therefore I have come before you. In a previous life I gave you a darshan at the house of Nanda Maharaj. Don't you remember that? When I appeared in Gokula, you also joyfully visited the various holy places. So he's talking about that. I have thus disclosed you the confidential topics that should not be revealed to anyone under any condition. Why? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that? This is a very important instruction here. Who can tell me the answer? Hold on, Lilavati. From the congregation. Excellent, very good. Because Mahaprabhu came as what? He didn't come as a god. He came as a Chhana avatar, Gupta avatar, hidden avatar. He didn't come as a god. Otherwise he could have killed that Jagai Madai by having a Sudarshan. But then Nityananda Prabhu stopped him. Prabhu, what are you doing? We didn't come as a god. We came as devotee. And what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did? He didn't kill anybody. He changed the consciousness. He changed. Cheto darpanam arjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. Through Sankirtana movement, he changed the consciousness. So that was, he said, don't reveal these pastimes. As long as I remain in this incarnation, you should not tell anyone the secret of that I have told you. So anyway, I incarnated to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement, and I will preach this process of chanting throughout the world. And this is happening here. Right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that every town and village my name will be sung. That is happening. Also Srila Prabhupada is the one, chosen one, who came and distributed this whole holy name to everyone. So anyway, so the Brahmana stayed there in Navadvip, and whenever he get a chance, he was having a darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I'm just going to skip because we have already Bogai here. So Brahmana stayed there, and he always come to beg the alms from Sachi Mata, and he will have a nice peek at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Always. So that's the perfection of life, right? Seeing Lord in front of you every day. That's perfection of life. Okay, here's the boon. Who is ready for the boon? Ashirvad. Everybody, please hold your hand with utmost humility, that please Krishna bestow your mercy and your prem to us. Yeah. One who hears these wonderful topics that are confidential to the Vedas is very confidential. Brahmara durlabha sab prema kare jache. Even this love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, love of Godhead, is very rare to even Brahma. And we are so fortunate that we are getting that. With the folded hands, with your utmost humility, one who hears these wonderful topics that are confidential to the Vedas certainly attains the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna and develop love for Krishna. Haribo! 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 Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Thus end the 8th English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, chapter 5, entitled Eating the Mendicant's Brahmana's Offering by the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudeva ki jai, all the Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, all of you ki jai. Haribo. Any question or comment? Aryan means, who has a very, very good quality. Aryans and Dravidas, So Aryan has very good quality, like a Brahmanical quality. So that's what it is. Anything else? Yes. As a Grihastha? Okay, good question. That's the protocol or the schedule of events, Prabhupada has given us for the temple residents. For us, I'm a Grihastha, we are all Grihastha. For us, the simple thing is to do, do you have an altar at home? No, that's fine. But have one chabi of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So when we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they don't take any offense. When we worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he the most magnanimous, most merciful. Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Gauratvishanama. So when you have that, just have one picture, not even Murti, not even Archa Vigraha. Have one picture of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Everyone should have that in their home. It's very important. Because due to the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can go back home, back to Godhead. It's a very, very elaborate subject, very deep subject, which I'm not going to discuss at that time. But I'm just giving you in a nutshell that just having your Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you offer your obeisances and chant your Hare Krishna Mahamantra. First of all, you chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, and then chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And whatever time you're suitable for you, but try to finish your round in the morning if you are chanting. If you are not chanting any round, start your chanting at least one round in a day. Start at least that much. With the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will increase your round automatically. As I explained to you, this is the means of attaining perfection in the age of Kali, just by chanting the holy name. There is no other way. There is no other way than chanting the holy name. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nastyeva, gatiranyatya. There is no other way in the age of Kali. So you follow that, and then you go to your work, do your seva, whatever whatever you do, go to your work,